Franke James is an artist who wanted to fight climate change. She sold her SUV and planted a garden in her driveway. That got her into trouble with City Hall. She fought City Hall and won. Then she wrote Prime Minister Stephen Harper, asking questions like, if we aren't going to abandon fossil fuels, who is? And if not now, when? The Prime Minister's answer? He secretly squashed a European artist tour that she had been offered. Franke discovered the plot and struck back with another book, Banned on the Hill. She plastered posters all over Ottawa and later all over Washington. Did poor old Harper even know what hit him?
One of the things that I often do at my talks to students, and I didn't do it last night because at that schedule, the talk was already jammed full of everything else. But I ask people, you know, I'd give them the green conscience test. And the green conscience test is a really simple little test, and I've got like kind of 4 visuals. And because I say, you know, most people, maybe you think you don't have a green conscience, right? Do you ever worry about turning off the lights, right? So, and most people will put up their hand and say, yeah, I think about turning off the lights. Do you ever think about do you ever feel guilty if you throw a piece of trash in the garbage and you should have put it in recycling? Okay? And most people will put up their hand and say, yeah, okay, all right. Do you ever feel worried about, do you ever wash fruit and because you're worried about the pesticides on them, right? And most people will put up their hand and say, yeah. And so I go through this very simple series of questions that gets people going, yeah, I guess, yeah, all right, yeah, I do have a green conscience, you know? And by the end of it, they're going, okay, yeah, so I guess I do have a conscience that's telling me those things. Even though I'm not listening to it, there is a little voice in my head that's telling me that there's a better way to do things, a greener way. But there isn't necessarily a great awareness. Like if you ask them, do you have a green conscience? They'll go, what's that? No. So I try to kind of awaken people's green conscience through this very little simple test. And I also do art workshops. And those are really fun. And with the art workshops, I've designed my 6 tools for climate change, which, you know, it's things like using symbols and metaphors and actions. But the core idea is to get people to express what's bothering their green conscience. That's the core challenge of the art workshop.
The climate is really your obsession, right? It's not, when we talk about, there's a whole range of green stuff that we talk about with various people in these interviews, but climate change is, for you, the key.
Yes, yeah, really. The thing is that in 2006, we decided that we were going to do a renovation on our house, and so I started to look into energy efficiency solutions and things like that. And as I was doing the research, I stumbled across more and more articles on global warming. And I just was bowled over and I went, what? This is like the major issue of the 21st century and we have to take action on it and we're not talking about it. And so I started doing sort of magazine style interviews and blog posts about it. And they were very text heavy and thousands of words. And they took me months to do. Lot of work, and I got almost zip response. And I went, okay, I'm putting all this work into it. What I'm just telling people is important, but I am not getting the message across. And so what I need to do is go back to the drawing board, and I need to find a way to use words and pictures together to really convey to people the importance of global warming and why we need to take action. So I need to combine my words and pictures with personal actions, which is why I set myself the challenge of selling our SUV and telling a story about it, and fighting bureaucracy to build a green driveway and writing a story about it. So.
Well, and you're very fortunate in the sense that you have the capability to do the visual stuff because that's so powerful. The feisty Franke James, artist, author, and activist. If you enjoyed this conversation, you may want to check out our conversation with Mark Boyle, the moneyless man, or with Robert Bateman, the passionate and prolific wildlife artist. For the Green Interview, I'm Silver Donald Cameron. Come again soon.